Welcome to RickRackRuby. I'm Laura Cluvo. Today we'll use a layer cake to make a large angel. She's large enough to be a wall decoration, or you can put her at the top of your tree. She's fun and easy, so let's get started. Let's look at another pre-cut. This is the layer cake. 42 10-inch squares, and this one is my favorite 2019 holiday collection, Snow Day by Moda. To make the large angel, we need 3 of these squares, one for the center and then 2 matching for either side. Let's do something red for the center, maybe the snow globes. That's a cute one. And for the sides we'll do green, we'll do the snowman, that'll be cute. First thing I'm going to do is to stitch up the sides here, and then this one here. Now I'll press the seams toward the center. Now for the bottom, I'm going to trim this with pleated or ruffled length of jelly roll strip. I sewed 2 jelly roll strips end to end because I know that one is not quite enough. Then I will just top stitch this along the bottom edge. I'll be right back. There we go, there's the ruffle on the bottom, and now I'll fold this together, right sides together, and stitch this seam, which will be the back. Now I'll turn it right side out. And there is her dress. Her face is a 1.5 inch ball knob, and then I've glued a 3/4 inch spool to form her neck. Okay, I have 3 lengths of 10-inch wide tulle, and I have a nice piece of strong thread. This is just quilting thread. This is a little bit tricky. So I'm going to fold this in half. I'm going to stagger these around the neck, 1, 2, 3. So I'll fold this one in half, and I'll add a little dab of glue. And then I'll kind of press the center into the glue. 1, 2, 3. All right, so here's how it looks. I have 3 pieces of tulle glued, kind of sort of glued there. Doesn't have to be perfect. Where the halfway point of that length of tulle is glued to the bottom of the spool. And then I'll wrap it with a double strand of quilting thread and tie it off in the back to secure. And then you'll see when I fold these back down, I have a nice thick tulle. And now you can imagine the next step is going to be to gather this up around her neck. Here's a double strand of quilting thread and a nice long needle and my trusty thimble. Starting in the back, folding under that seam allowance, I'm going to start right there to secure my knot. Then I'm going to stitch all the way around the top of the dress and cue music. There I am, all the way back to where I started. And the angel's going to go through the opening, and I'm going to pull this up tight around her little neck, and I want to be sure that the red section is centered, which it is, and the seam is right in the center back, which it is. And then I'm going to wrap this tightly a few times. Again, this is a double strand of quilting thread. And then I will secure it in the back. Now, just to be sure that those gathers are secured, I'm going to apply some glue right here. Press those gathers right into that glue, and then again in the back. Then I'm going to press those gathers into the glue as well. She looks good. That dress is not going to come off, and I will trim her little petticoat. Great. Now let's make her collar. I have about 1 yard of this lace. It's about 5/8 of an inch wide. I'm going to gather this up with a nice long needle, a double strand of quilting thread, and my trusty thimble. This is nice and long, about 1 yard to go around her neck. And cue music. There's my lace, all gathered up for her collar. And I'll place that around her neck and join the ends together in the back. Have to be careful not to let it twist, but besides that, it's pretty easy and straightforward. There we go. Now I'm going to distribute the fullness of her collar. Nice. Okay, so let's add a little decoration. This is a nice long piece of baker's twine, probably 1.5 yards. Just want to make sure I have enough. I'm going to sew through the collar right there at the top, right at the part that's gathered. Then I'll tie a bow, trim off the streamers, and tie a knot into each end. There's her bow. Then for a decoration, I'm going to use these little holly stickers. Add some hot glue. These are designed to stick to paper, and I'm sure that the adhesive works fine for paper, but for fabric, I think we need a little bit of glue to really secure it. Now let's do the hair. So I have 2 4x6 index cards, just stacked on top of each other. And this is my trusty boucle yarn. I'm going to wrap across the cards the long way, lengthwise, along the lines of the index card. And I'm going to cover the surface of the card. Okay, there we go. I've got both sides of the card covered twice. That makes actually 4 layers of yarn, so that will be plenty of yarn. Now I'm going to sew right across like this down the center of the card. There we go. I sewed from end to end, pivoted and turned back, and sewed back. So now I will remove the card. There we go. There's her little wig I will apply some hot glue right here, boop, like that, and then press the center of the hair into it, like that, and then press that in. And then I'll continue around the back. I'll apply some glue from here around to the back center of the neck. And then on the other side. There we go. So when you pull this back and up, you can see how this is going to become her hairstyle. I'm going to tie this off and wrap it like a bun or a high ponytail. I'll tie this off. I like to tie it close to her head. So not way up here, but just close to her head. Pull it tight. I think I'll wrap it one more time. Then I'm going to tie it off a little bit off center, because I know that's where I want to put a little decoration of some sort. Before we get much further, let's add a hanging loop. The hanging loop will go right through her hair. I like to use ribbon for this instead of baker's twine because it's just a little bit more sturdy. So right through the yarn. There we go. This is going to be adorable. Okay, so I need a little decoration here. What should it be? I could do a little red bow. That would be good. Or a green bow with some red berries. That's what I'll do. I'll be right back. I couldn't find any green ribbon, but I did find some green pearl cotton, and I found these little red berries, little pips. So I think I'll do the little pips and a strand of this pearl cotton. I think I'm going to go all the way around her little bun, like this. Instead of just tying a bow and sticking it on, I'm going to tie it around her hair. Here's a nice secure knot. And a bow. Then I'll just glue those berries right there. And I think I'll add a third berry, because odd numbers are always better, right? There we go. Now her halo. This is my 20 gauge gold wire. I'm going to cut off about 8 inches. And then shape it into a halo. Cross it over. Twist. Open it up and bend it like this. So it reminds me of one of those things that you use to dye Easter eggs. I'll apply some glue to the end, and then I'm going to put it into her hair like this. She's going to be so cute. Her hair is so thick. Now the last step is her wings. I have a new pad of paper, which I'll show you because I just got it at Joann's. It's called Candy Cane Christmas, and I like it because it has a lot of reds and whites. There's some candy canes, some kind of Scandinavian, there's some stripes, snowflakes. I like this one. I think this is the one I'm going to use, this side right here. It's just a red and white diagonal stripe. I folded it to maintain the integrity of the diagonal, and now I will zigzag around the edge. There we go. Now I'm going to glue this to the back of her hair, just about like this. I put a generous circle of glue on the front, and then I'm gluing this to the back of her hair. Don't want to put it down at her neck or her shoulders, but actually to the back of her head. And try to center it. Try to center her head on the wings. That looks pretty good. Thank you for watching my tutorial. If you're enjoying my videos, please like, share, and subscribe.